Hello everybody, long time no see and welcome to a new campaign in Divide et Impera, the mod for Rome 2. Today we're going to be starting off a campaign as the Macedonians, who in all honesty they're really a mixed bag of a faction. On the one hand, they do have a very powerful roster, one that is strong from the onset and gets important pieces as the campaign goes on. You have strong cavalry, you have incredibly strong infantry, at least if you like pikes, that is. They don't have excellent infantry outside of our pikemen, but their pikemen are truly incredible. Besides that, as you can see, there are quite a few powerful buffs for the Macedonians to get plus 10% morale against Hellenic factions, which is quite important considering that you're starting close proximity to Greece. There's other Greek family factions in Macedonia. Asia is quite close by with their Greek factions. Just overall, you're going to make great use of this plus 10. The minus 20 resistance to foreign occupation is just a great trait to have if you're going to be an empire builder. Increased morale against barbarians pairs well with the Hellenic one, allowing you to fight against Hellenes and barbarians with a slight advantage. And increased industrial income is just generally a very good trait to have. Now, a minor diplomatic penalty with all Hellenic factions isn't great, but it's quite easy to overcome. So overall, the buffs are extremely advantageous for the Macedonians, but the start position really isn't. You start out with one settlement in the form of Pella. You start out in quite close proximity to the Romans, and they are just generally quite unhappy with your presence, particularly if you start to capture settlements. Apollonia, in particular, is just generally the Romans will declare war on Macedon quite early on in the campaign. The moment that you capture Apollonia, it's inevitable. But if you don't capture Apollonia, once they get into the region, they're pretty much always going to declare war on you. I've had campaigns where I've had like non-aggression pacts of Rome and that sort of thing, so it hasn't really helped. Let's listen to this.
The Athenians continue to resent your rule.
Yeah, your client state at the beginning.
Or convince your Spartan allies to betray their treaty. No matter, faced with hostility from Epirus, Sparta should remain true and may distract Epirus long enough for you to consolidate your rule at home.
You don't have to deal much about Epirus. I mean, like, narratively, in real life, Epirus was a strong, like, power player in the Macedonian Wars of Succession. Like, whenever a dynasty, or rather a ruler would die here, the Epirotes would be involved within the civil wars that would unfold, that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, Epirus just gets eliminated by Rome really early on in every Divide et Impera campaign, so no need to really worry about them. I mean, frankly, I would obliterate Epirus right from the onset if it didn't bring me into such close proximity with Rome and inevitably start a war with them. Because the thing is that with Macedon, you do want to fight Rome pretty early on, but you do also need to consolidate some resources so you can actually have the money and income and, of course, the armies necessary to fight a power player like the Romans. So my initial turns are just going to be spent building my first army and trying to kind of take on my first foes in the campaign. It's going to be the Aetolian League. I am going to quickly pounce upon that weak faction. It's just going to take me a little bit of time. Let's see. Well, we'll get this by, I like the +2 to public order that they add. This should be our faction leader. Yes, Antigonos II. Over Stoic faction leader. No, we can't really do that yet. This is our heir, Demetrius I, so see, I'm just kind of checking out what's going on. We could definitely build up some more influence. We don't really need to pamper the other families in my house or the other houses in my faction yet, so I won't really do anything when it comes to internal politics come turn 1. I really just want to get that spy and, of course, build a dignitary too. I always build dignitaries. They're so useful to have. Yeah, I think this one will probably be the best option for me. Yeah, and then when it comes to just like upgrades, let's get upgraded Pella. Let's I'm just kind of curious what the populations are. Just give me a second to become acquainted with this. Third class, foreigners, first and second. This would be a good building. This could be a good building. But really nothing all that significant. Anyway, my plan is to actually get a temple there, so nothing I can really do here, and I always recruit this Agrionian, and then let's get some pikes. Now, really, what my goal is one, I do want to conquer Hellas, and two, I want to conquer Larissa. I want to probably turn these guys into like a client kingdom or something in due time, but it's just not going to happen like immediately. For wise, I mean, I kind of do want like a trade agreement with the Ptolemies, but they probably aren't going to go for it, so yeah, really no need to bother. I would be willing to accept a peace treaty with these guys at any time, but of course that's not going to happen either. So end of a turn. So yeah, guys. Now that the turn's over and I can kind of speak during this buffering period, what I really want to do as Macedon is just try to survive at first. I'm surrounded by potential enemies, right? Like in Hellas, there's people that are nervous about me. In Macedonia itself, Epirus and Thessaly aren't particularly happy. Up north, Lyrians could attack, or the Thracians at any due time. It just truly, Macedon is confronted by many enemies, yet their military traditions and just the general like professional quality of the Macedonian army gives me a chance at survival. But it's just the best thing that I can do is build up my army as quickly as possible and just go straight up on the offensive. That's why I'm not going to be cautious in the slightest. I am going to get as many good troops as possible and just pounce upon the weakness of my foes. We have 5 pikes. I think a 6th pike is absolutely something that I should invest in. Let's see the Larissa. I do like the Larissa Lancers. I'm kind of a fan of this unit in general. So I'll get an upper one of these. I'll get... There we go. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, good turn. And yeah, what I'm going to do, guys, is attack Larissa next. That's going to be my next move. And man, everyone's declaring war on me. Everyone! In Hellas, which is honestly beneficial. Like, typically, it's quite hard to just break that alliance with Athens. It takes like 15 turns to not have to get a massive diplomatic debuff by betraying their client state status to you, so I am honestly quite happy about their betrayal, because now I can just wipe them out myself, show them a lesson, and you know what, I think that it's time to go ahead and fight these guys. Yeah, no mercenaries that seem worth investing in right now. Let's give them hell! Yeah, it's not a particularly vast, garrison army just yet, so we can pounce upon the weakness of Larissa. Put these plebeians to the sword. These petty tyrants. Now this shouldn't be too difficult of a battle, primarily because my infantry is just vastly superior to that of the Thessalians. They have a couple of decent units in that pathetic puny army but they've mustered thus far. But at the same time, I should not completely underestimate them, especially because the Athenians are going to be within striking distance of whatever forces I have that survives this battle, so I don't want to lose too many men, or else Athens could probably just take Larissa right after I'm done with it, so gonna approach the enemy position a little bit carefully. Just wait for all of my pikemen to form up. Let's bring them here. I mean, it's bizarre that the enemy has set all of these traps, yet I don't see anyone yet. And okay, there we go. Maybe the main army retreated so that the garrison can link up with them. Well, no matter. I'm gonna go ahead and form up within this outcrop of trees. Bring my cavalry around. I can kind of swing around and hit the enemy on the flank here. Even though I'd be charging uphill, the enemy just doesn't have enough cavalry to contend with the force I brought. So go ahead and just strike this left flank with my cavalry. And I will send my infantry forward against scrutiny of the enemy archers and the like. I'm gonna go send my general to push over these Thessalians. My general should easily slaughter these guys. We'll send in two Larissa Lancers to wipe out the Greek javelin cavalry. I don't know if they'll catch him, but I'm hopeful. And now we need to advance forward, of course. That's the challenge of using pikes in battle, right? They're not the most mobile of tools. However, let's push them forward against all of these trees. Let's send my Agrionians to bear too. Looks like the javelin cavalry, they're escaping quite easily, so I'm not gonna bother too much with their like. Lost 10 men into Sacred Squadron. Okay, the Greek citizens are kind of like pushed up against my pikemen, but they haven't killed any, so I'm just gonna go and actually, you know what? In all honesty, if I just take my men out of pike formation, they'll do way better against the citizens than now, so gonna do it like that. There's some lancers. We got some kills, it seems, but oh man. I think that there's a good chance that one of my Larissa cavalry units is gonna get obliterated, but whatever. Enemy has lost like actual Thessalians. They've lost good troops. Meanwhile, my men are in great spirits, although do need to take out some of their archers too. Archers are in pretty good shape, and they're blasting my phalanxes. I don't think that the enemy archers have really killed a whole lot of my phalangists just because of the armor that they possess, but still. It's not ideal, for sure. Ooh, we've wiped out the enemy Greek cavalry on the flank, and I can go ahead and use these Thessalians to just run down all of these like routing troops over here. Yeah, I need like these pikes to actually be like formed up well and all that. Let's see. Ooh, this Peltis is out of ammo, so I could just use them here. Maybe charge the flank of a unit that's in a reasonably good position, like say like this one. And we can go hammer and anvil the enemy general. I mean, look, this is like an elite Greek hoplite, so it's not like a joke of a unit. They will be able to withstand the charge of my general for at least a little bit. But at the end of the day, they're already confronted by 2 infantry units, so yeah, this enemy general, even though this is an elite unit, I just don't think that they're going to be in particularly good spirits, and we should cut down this darn Thessalian quite quickly as his compatriots die around him, trying to keep their commander safe. And just across the field, a lot of these militia units are starting to break. See, this is the commander of the enemy garrison, so it would be quite a good thing to wipe him out. But in general, I just don't see enough across the field for the Thessalians to really still be in the game. They've quite clearly lost this battle. I'll put my General has lost a decent number of troops, to be honest. I should keep him out of danger. Like, you don't want a dead Macedonian king in the first battle. Like, we're supposed to build an empire here. We're supposed to build something that lasts, not just, you know, a swift victory followed by crushing defeat and the end of Macedonian hegemony over Greece. No, we are going to try to, like, actually build a long-lasting empire here, and capturing Larissa is just the first step of that. Now that we've captured Larissa, we can start to fortify it a bit, although the declarations of wars from, like, the south has complicated things a little bit. I was gonna go up north originally and fight against Tylos, but alas, it doesn't really seem like too easy of an option anymore. You know, get these two upgrades. I mean, on the bright side, like, Athens isn't particularly well guarded, and we can train quite a few troops in this settlement, right? This is a Greek settlement that we just conquered, so yeah, let's train a couple more units and call it a turn. Do want to improve missile components of his army, so let's get that. Get a couple more melee troops as well, and yeah, that'll be it. Just kind of buff out this army a little bit. And the reality is that Tylos probably is pretty close to the... Jeez, you guys see this? 4 freaking factions have declared war on me for the last few turns. And yeah, Tylos eventually is going to come down with an army from the Thracian mountains, so I need to be ready for that. Admittedly, Pella is like an incredibly well-fortified settlement, so I'm confident that I will be able to survive some Tylosian armies, but not all. Do have to be worried about Pella getting invaded properly. Yeah, I still have to wait quite a bit for my... Let's see... Ooh, Pergamon's declared war on Tylos. That means that they're in solidarity with me. Oh, I didn't think I would lose 100 men there. That's a little bit sucky. Let's see... Spear units... Defensive units. I mean, honestly, like with 17 units, we should be able to win this for the most part. I'm just unsure of whether, like, Sparta would try to get involved, but they obviously don't have any pikes. Athens doesn't get access to pikes early on. So I think that there's a good chance of victory here. I mean, I'm just questioning. Like, I am going to be outnumbered for this battle, right? 23... Yeah, I am outnumbered by, like, 1,000 men. But, of course, I just have to quantify the general quality of these troops. I mean, there's a lot of missile units, which could be dangerous. I have to keep my cavalry safe so I can obliterate these archers with them. But in general, I should be able to beat the Athenian hoplites with my pikes. So, you know what? I feel somewhat confident in this, and I do want to conquer Hellas. That was one of my earliest goals for this campaign, so I'll allow the Athenians to come to me, potentially. But you see, that's what I was worried about. I didn't want to face the Athenian army with Sparta. Oh man, this is like kind of sucky, but you know what? Spartans didn't join the Athenians. They were too far away here, so I think I can probably cause enough casualties here to make Athens really difficult to defend for the next turn. Let's try to get rid of Athens early, boys. This should be pretty easy. Let's try to get rid of Athens real easy here. I'll make a formation, just a line here. Phalanxes. We'll have slingers into center, couple of Peltis on the flanks, followed by light hoplites, kind of just making a formation. We'll have our Agrionians in the back so we can react to the events of the battlefield in a pretty like mobile way. And oh, noticing that the enemy garrison is a ways away, so should have an advantage in this initial confrontation as well. And yeah, we'll just make sure that our phalanxes can get properly composed. We'll have the officers dress the lines. Just, you know, the phalanxes like the opportunity to kind of wait to get within range. And ooh, these javelin men, they're like the weaker variant. They're not Peltis, so hoping that my slingers will be able to hit their shots and kill these guys. Okay, I'm just gonna try to rush the enemy here, I think. Because, like, I'm not seeing enough in this, like, army to actually stop the push of pike that I'm trying to start. So, I'm just gonna get my pikemen to push forward. Punch forward, really. See, as my hoplites close in, not my hoplites, my pikemen close in, it just pure chaos. Okay, we absolutely demolished our enemies on this flank. Just gonna have us kind of try to form up. Fix the lines here. Yeah, I just want to make the lines a little bit better, man. This immediate hoplite absolutely cracked here. An enemy general, too. You see that? You see all of these Greek archers from the garrison? Let's just hunt them down. I have cavalry nearby. No, I really don't want the enemy's cavalry reinforcements to potentially kill my generals, so yeah, it's a good thing that I have my light hoplites here as well, because they're just going to shift any cavalry fight directly within my favor. Ooh, Greek javelin men. I'm just gonna try to do my best here to neutralize whatever threats are in front of me, but the battle lines are quite hectic. Just overall, like, the push of pike should go in my favor, so I just need to keep things simple. A head-on front confrontation suits my army well. Definitely at an advantage here. I just don't want to lose too many men, right? But overall, this battle should soon be mine. Oh! Did not quite realize that I'd let that Tarentine cavalry escape. That is absolutely my bad. On the other hand, though, you can see that just in general, the center of the enemy line is collapsing. The Athenians have definitely lost a plot with their hoplites compared to my pikes, who are just doing an absolute ton. Okay, let's try to chase down some of these routing units just in general. Ooh, I noticed that my lines have become absolutely discombobulated. I have to work on kind of just dressing my lines properly. But now that I've destroyed, like, the enemy main army, I think that I have the freedom to fight a little bit more loosely. You can see enemy Tarentines, they actually fled. They weren't capable of keeping up in melee, I suppose, and there are definitely, like, these hoplites aren't inferior to my pikemen in melee combat, so it should fall one by one quite decisively, and yeah, we'll just hunt down a bunch of these archers and stuff. They'll get wrecked.
Вот он сидит здесь. Да.
Okay, so right now we're going to try to take the rest of his garrison down with minimal casualties. That's really the objective here. These hoplites don't have the capacity to be that deadly to my pikemen as long as I have coherent lines. Problem is that right now I don't really have coherent lines. I've kind of given that up, but I think that we could remake them with ease. And let me get some of my free units kind of mobilized. What is this? This is Larissa Lancers. Yeah, let's back them off from these guys. We can charge this unit with this small unit of Larissa Lancers. Done a lot of killing, just taking quite a few casualties as well. Okay, just want to get these guys back into formation. Ooh. Can double team this hoplite between my Peltis and my general. My Peltis are pretty good melee fighters too. You can see they're equipped with spears and shields, so they're not just a javelin unit. They can also go into a melee and be quite effective in it, especially against a hoplite that's already worn out like this. They'll probably beat them. Yeah, I'll just kind of get these guys within a formation. And it really should be it. Like, there are just so many ways in which the Athenians are disadvantaged at this point. Frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Athenians just start mass routing any moment now. And yeah, there we have it, boys. An easy victory. And that's exactly the type of win that we needed to, right? It's going to deflect the Spartans from being able to wipe me out with Athenian aid, because there is no Athenian army in the field, more or less. The Athenians marched out with 3,600. We're going to come back with around like 800 troops. The Athenian army is more or less neutralized for now. Problem is, of course, is that the Spartans are still in the field, so I won't be able to take Athens without confronting the Spartan army first. But I think that even like the survivors from this battle will be enough to defeat the Spartans. I'm pretty sure. And there's mercenaries I can recruit in Greece too that can more or less make that a guaranteed thing. So let's see. Macedon will rebel soon enough, but I expected that. We don't have good public order right now. We still need to wait. See, we can upgrade our diplomat. We're just waiting one more turn because I want to get the military worth. I mean, one, it has like insane mercenary or garrison potential, but also it's how you get all of your naval recruitment, at least your best naval recruitment. So it's absolutely a worthwhile building to get. See, 12 units or 16, but a lot of your men are already somewhat damaged. We also could just recruit units from here, though. I mean, there's just so many great options. We could get Cretans. We could get... Well, I don't want to get the Tarentines. I don't think that they're worth it. But this Greek veteran mercenary hoplite's pretty insane. Pretty insane, although we can get our own pikemen for cheaper. I mean, to be honest, I think I would just wipe these guys out. I don't think that there's a whole lot of potential for the Spartans to beat us in this fight just because pike beats hoplite. You know, a Larissa has a longer reach than a typical hoplite spear. So at the end of the day, like these Spartans, their phalanx just won't hold up to my phalanx of pikes. We'll be able to push them over. So I just think that the general quality of our army is a great enough advantage that I don't even need to like recruit any type of additional firepower to make this battle guaranteed. But in any case, let's march to the very top of his hill and have our lines meet. There's no reason to dally. Sparta's age of dominance has ended long ago. Now all that stands between us and glory is this pitiful, weak, broken power that was once great. And as the Spartans kind of retreat to the peak of his hill, they actually give us more even ground with which to engage them upon. Like, they should have kind of rushed all the way over here, but whatever. So important thing is for us to line up our phalanxes. See, these are Helot slingers, Guitari Peltis. I think that this is the most useful unit to destroy my slingers. Let's get my Peltis right behind my pikes. Yeah, we'll just have our like slingers. Try our best to target this Peltis unit. I mean, I don't really think that we're like gonna kill a whole lot of them, though. I think you want to get the slingers to better ground. Yeah, I think it makes the most sense for me to just push up our pikes as they are. See an opportunity to kill these helots, so I'm gonna. And Spartans are virtually unblooded, so it matters not. Man, the Spartan use of like javelins is pretty insane in this battle. It's actually by far the most deadly thing that the Spartans have on the battlefield right now are the javelins. Yeah, we charge down some Spartan cavalry over here, but I don't want to bump into enemy hoplites. I'm gonna retreat. Let's see, here's some periodic white pikes. Oh my god, dude. They're actually like just not engaging. Like they are trying to kill everything from a distance. It is so newbie. And we are losing a lot of pikemen, so yeah, I don't quite like this. I need to properly engage this bullshit. I mean, we've almost killed the entirety of this Athenian general unit. There's pretty much no men left to even hold us off at this point. At this point, we'd best charge straight into the homioi too. Oh man, I see plenty of opportunities here to get kills done. Oh man, we're losing so many men. Man, I'm like just trying my best to hold up to the enemy, but a humongous amount of javelins have been by far the greatest threat. At least my general's still alive though. I haven't had like anything crazy happen, but this is definitely a more intense battle than the one against Athens. The Spartans and over stuff. But we just managed to smash the enemy cavalry between our superior cavalry. And now we have full control over the battlefield. We're just going to line up behind the enemy line. Try our best to destroy these guys. I mean, after all, our pikemen are winning. Not as decisively as I would like, but they are winning. And it's really the Spartan general, which is extraordinarily elite. The rest of the Spartan hoplite corps isn't anything too special. So I figured if we just flatten the Spartan general and just get my pikes to start plowing into them, we should be able to do quite a bit of damage. Let's see. I mean, I think we should just get rid of these Greek archers. We absolutely can. My general, I kind of want to keep him out of danger at this point, so I'll just use him to mostly just wipe out damaged units. But, yeah, we'll have my Larissa Lancers and Thessalians gallop around. See some units that aren't very well protected, so we should be able to wipe them out. Oh my god. I hope my general doesn't die. Like, the Secret Squadron is dangerously low on men at this point. I know, it looks like he's survived, but honestly, I've just gotten lucky. General had a lot of chances to die already in these battles. And at this point, even though my infantry numbers have dwindled, Spartans and Athenians have suffered so much more. At this point, their hoplites are just making their last stand. We're more or less surrounded. We have axemen coming in to start delivering lethal blows. It's really just a homioi with their incredible morale. It's allowing the Spartans to continue to fight. Honestly, I'm surprised that Athenians are still in the field. Our general's dead, and just frankly, I don't have any leg to stand on. We're completely outnumbered. But there we have it, boys. An absolute dominant victory. Well, honestly, not super duper dominant. You know, we killed around 3 times the amount of men that we lost, yet our casualties were significant, especially for like early game. We don't have a ton of citizen population to expend, so we can't completely write off the losses we suffered in this battle. Yet simultaneously, I can't say that they were extensive considering how much damage we did to the enemy. We wiped out several armies. It's just incredible. I really want this particular upgrade. No, there's just like a couple of these that I really do want. There's a lot of different upgrades I want. I was just like really thinking about which ones I wanted to get this time. But in any case, Athens has been taken. We will... I was thinking, should I loot? Let's see, subjugate would be like... Yeah, client state. Liberate, you just get an ally. I was thinking about raising... I don't want to raise. I think we just go for an occupy. After all, we are of the same culture. Not a lot to do here, actually. We can get this building. And actually, because this is the same culture, we just started out with a level 1 recruitment building right away. So why not just try to make this army a little bit more hale, a little bit more whole? I'm not going to use this province to recruit. I'm going to use this as like a military province, so I might as well just use this to recruit whatever it is that I want. I want to take Sparta really quickly next turn, and they're like one turn away from improving their town hall, so I don't want to let them do that. If Sparta improves its town hall, I'm going to be up against a much larger garrison. So I want to attack on the next turn. I don't think I'm going to replenish any troops. I think after you take a settlement, you have like a one turn where you can't replenish any troops. So we're definitely going to be fighting with a pretty ragged army at this point. Oh geez, I never imagined that a rebel army would materialize, which is stronger than my my garrison. Oh no. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh man. Well, this is like a speed bump I didn't anticipate nor plan for yet. I mean, we could go for Larissa. Or we could go for Sparta. I think it makes a lot more sense to just obliterate Sparta right now. They actually have the potential to be, like, dangerous, while who cares about this pathetic little army in Larissa? There we go. These are the upgrades I wanted. Yeah, we'll start looking civic technology now. Let's see. Honestly, I think that we could defeat the Spartan garrison with relative ease. Sure, they do have more men than me, and some of our hoplites are decent. Just pikemen obliterate hoplites so soundly that I think we have this. Only thing that worries me is enemy archers. Actually, that Cretan, they could potentially destroy quite a few of my pikes. Yeah, ideally we get our slingers off to the flanks of the enemy. Oh, we'll get our hoplites over here. Pikemen right here. So my plan is to harass the enemy with my slingers from the side, especially because there's no cavalry on the field for Sparta, so they won't be able to stop me from positioning my skirmishers in weird areas. Problem, of course, is that the enemy just has a pretty significant skirmish advantage. In fact, a little bit tempted to just run my infantry in. I think I have like a humongous infantry advantage. In fact, I'm just going to do that. I think that there's no reason to tarry or whatever. It's, I'm gonna barricade is honestly, could just kind of ignore it. Maybe send a couple of units to like different parts of the map so we can just avoid the barricade. See, Helot archers. I could get my slingers within range to just start harassing the Helot archers, and I think I'll do that. There we go. Yeah, we're just gonna attack him piecemeal, it seems. Your Slinger barrage has begun! Now, I really don't think that the Helots are gonna be able to defend this hill against my light hoplites, so we should be able to wipe them out with relative ease. And try to nice, my general's got in amongst enemy archers. Hopefully he can liberate some of these Helots from life. Yeah. My general is killing Helots. Helots being the slaves of a Spartan society of serfs. And I'm gonna go ahead and start building up some phalanxes. Okay, we can move some of these units here. Spartan moves over here. Fig as a, like, the enemy flank is failing here. This Perioikoi hoplite is gonna get slaughtered. And my general's still alive, so that's great. Enemy general's lost a couple of units, but nothing substantial. Or a couple of men, but nothing substantial yet. We're just winning the vast majority of fights that we have taken thus far, so Obviously, we're at a pretty big advantage, especially because a lot of the hoplite garrison just helots, right? It's early game, so level 1 Sparta. It's not a high-level Spartan settlement that actually has a huge garrison capable of defending against my force here. So we've almost wiped out everything with killing potential in the Spartan army. Right, most of the hoplites are dead. A lot of the helots have routed. A lot of enemy archers are gone too. It's mainly a Spartan commander left at this point. Everything else is damaged extensively. And we're just going to go ahead and try to bring up my right flank to hit the enemy commander in the rear. This Greek militia, they're taking casualties. They know what they're done for. And this Perioikoi, they seem determined to go and do something. So we'll run some Agrionians into them, as well as... I know, this pikemen seems to be in relatively high spirits. Let's just get these guys to the field. Meanwhile, this pathetic Thessalian cavalry, like, just get them like right over here. Pathetic in terms of size, they're extremely depleted, but they're still capable of frightening some helots. Charge them into the rear. Some helot units. Let's see, these are the peltists, these are the pikemen. Let's have them form up to a phalanx. And we shall charge. Meanwhile, some of these units into the enemy rear. I mean, this Perioikoi unit should be getting obliterated. Like, they're up against... Like, none of these units that have surrounded it would lose to this unit in a face-to-face. So, yeah. You can see over here, this Perioikoi hoplite starting to crumble as the men are impaled. Yeah, Spartan general can't possibly clutch this out. There we have it. Sparta falls. Well, there we have... Guys, we're almost the masters of Greece at this point. We've taken 2 out of 3 settlements. Now all we need to do is take Crete. That's it. Crete. Which is more of an inconvenient settlement to take than an actually challenging one. Not like the island of Crete really poses that much of a challenge to me. But yeah, I'm going to go raise the settlement just so public order rebounds pretty quick. I do want to get this province off the ground mighty quick. Yeah, we definitely don't need like any of this. Definitely don't need any of this type of stuff. Let's see, entertainment, military research. And yeah, we'll bring this guy back to go spy. Well, there we have it, boys. We've already destroyed Sparta and Athens. And yeah, we're just going to go back and nab Thessaly once again.
Come, let me hear you.
Pylus has yet to try to take a swipe at Pella. It's going to be more and more challenging as time goes on. Once we've upgraded our military barrack and our port, I think Pella is going to be virtually unassailable by anything but an elite army. In Larissa, we should recapture within maybe 2 turns. I don't think that I'm going to be able to march there in 1 turn, but it's going to be pretty quick. Of course, the enemy aren't going to be able to muster up a capable defending force very quickly, so should retake it. Then all that's left to do is just consolidate. Ooh. Really? A child has died? Is it our heir? No. Thank God. Aww. Can't educate the little baby. Little future heir to the throne. Okay, let's see. First we want to make a temple. I don't think that there's anything here that I really want to train. None of these AOR units are particularly appealing to me. Like, the Scutari swordsmen, as cool as they are, the only saving grace of his unit is that they can guerrilla deploy. Corinthian light hoplites, I mean, any type of hoplite's just not really worth it when you're playing as Macedonia. Pikemen are just so much better than hoplites. Yeah, I'll just let the turn go by. Just going to take a little bit of time to march over to Larissa and the first invading barbarian army from the north, an RDA army, an Illyrian force. Well, luckily, Pella should be a level 2 settlement at this point, so I think that I'm going to have like a garrison of like 17 men, including some elite units. Pella, like, Macedon has some sick garrisons. Like, our garrison buildings are so freaking good, so yeah, I doubt this is going to pose too much of a challenge. 15. I do have one of these shield bearer units, just a straight up elite hoplite. I do want to get fortified Pella at one point, although I wish it had had more than one elite hoplite, but a man could wish. The fact that it has 80 is already phenomenal. Anyways, first stop is retaking Larissa. And frankly, it doesn't look like the Thessalians are gonna make this a particularly challenging feat. Maybe Sally's out the fight. We're probably gonna try to use the full. I mean, I assume the main reason for sallying out is just so they can use their archers to their full capacity, right? Or at least like hit our line all at once. Or I don't even know. Maybe because they just want to try to outmaneuver my pikes. I mean, I have the advantage in this battle regardless of whether the enemy sallies out or not, but still. Just trying to figure out the reason why. Oh, it doesn't matter. I have vastly superior troops. I just have to run into the enemy. We have professionals. The enemy has ragged citizen militias. Citizens, we will wipe out this paltry garrison. My phalanges just run in amongst the Greek citizens, chopping them down. My phalanges have like pretty good melee stats, so they will crush through the likes of these citizens. Ooh, it gets these cinematic kills. But anyway, slaughtering citizens is hardly a real challenge. To use some of my phalanxes against enemy hoplites. Okay, we'll run our skirmishers a bit up the hill so they have a more clean shot on the enemy. Yeah, I can see. Enemy general is with his unit, so just charge right into him. I think it just makes sense for me to run in, just throw all of my melee units into the fray here. Reposition my skirmishers, and yeah, it looks like the enemy cavalry has been shattered. It makes the most sense for me to just dive in and try to kill the Greek archers, and I'll keep my general just out of harm's way, just because he's pretty low on men. So Some of the enemy hoplites have already taken devastating casualties, but those casualties are just going to be exacerbated by the morale impact of being charged into rear. And the trees are making it somewhat difficult to navigate in their foliage, but still, you can see clearly enough. And like the main Thessalian force is just gonna get trapped up here, while also fighting a little bit downhill too. So, just overall, we're in a very tough situation. Yeah, there we have it. Just need like the enemy to break over here. I mean, you can see that their position is hopeless. They're trying to go uphill into just this massive spears, as we have Agrionians in that mess too. Meanwhile, Peltus have been caught. Just hoping that these Larissa Lancers can actually accelerate and hit the enemy powerfully. Ooh, these Thessalians, they are gone. Okay, I'm trying to like surround these Agrionian sellswords. But they're the only thing that's like really resisting me at this point. Anything else, like over here, like these guys aren't going to be able to win the battle. So we charge some troops downhill. I'm hoping that they'll wipe out the enemy Peltus. The enemy Peltus aren't like a fantastic unit for holding or anything, so we should die pretty quickly. Yeah, with the sellswords broken, it really is just a matter of time before the enemy fully routs. And there we have it. Decisive win, as I expected, against the Thessalians. We only had like a turn, really. 2 turns to get their shit together. So they're gone as a faction. And man, we've, at this point, right, but this first episode of the campaign, we've taken on the Spartans, defeated them. We've taken on the Athenians, defeated them. We've taken on the Thessalians and defeated them. Operation Make Macedon great. It's gone fantastically well. And I don't know what the ideal thing here is. Probably loot. We need some money. There we go. Thessaly gets eviscerated, and let's go back to try to rebuild that temple we were originally trying to make here before my settlement rebelled. And we can, of course, bring our spy right over here. I mean, these Illyrian spearmen, they aren't too dangerous. They don't have any javelins. They have okay combat stats, but 39 morale isn't great. The Sicca bearers, they can pose a bit of a problem, but really, there's nothing about this Illyrian army that's fantastic. It's like an okay army. I mean, I'm quite interested in that, like, meadow building, just not right now, really. Build what we've had to build. Okay, well, it doesn't seem like there's anything more that we can do for this turn, so I'll let the turn go through, and this is going to be the last turn of the stream. But with war beckoning in the north, we definitely have a lot of action coming up for the next episode. We're going to have to teach the RDA as well as Tylus a lesson before we, of course, come out and clobber the Cretans and solidify our conquest of Hellas. Once we've done all of that, then we can start to turn our attentions towards preparing for a war with Rome. Think of Macedon as the kind of military base of our empire, combined with Hellas as the food source. will give us like a good basis from which to expand. Ooh, and Defini are gone? What, Dricians have taken them out, I see. And Dricians are also a potential force to be reckoned with. We have to be well aware of their potential impact. If there really isn't anything I can do besides just waiting for next turn so I can go and fight against this rebellious army and put them down as they belong. And yeah, guys, so this is going to be it for today. Thanks so much for watching, and yep, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you wish, and I will see you for the next episode as we take on the barbarians to the north. Bye for now.